Oh, there's a couple more people online. No one's made themselves known yet, but feel free to. We have 45 seconds until we go live on the radio. I'm having too much fun on FT8 tonight, just racking up the contacts here. I hope next weekend for field day is the same way, because it'll be amazing if it is. I think I've probably made close to 30 contacts just today, and I've only done it for about 20 minutes, or no more than that. But total today, maybe an hour and a half, and I probably made about 30 contacts. So it's fun. 15 seconds. So who's there? Joe's there, and Gary's there. Hey, Gary, how's it going? Put Gary down in the log. Good evening, everybody. This is Laird VE3LKS, and I'd like to welcome you to the COVID-19 Rag Chew, Week 14, Friday night edition, which means it's the Friday night free-for-all. So any topic, anything you'd like to discuss, as long as it's rated PG, we're game for it. So with that, I will take a standby, get my cursor on the right cell in the spreadsheet, and I will start taking check-ins.
Echo 3, Papa Whiskey Juliet.
Peter.
Victor Alpha 3, Alpha Golf.
There's Aldo. Well, this is going to be a short one. Okay, I acknowledge VE3 PWJ Peter and VA3 AG Aldo. Is there anybody else?
Victor Echo 3, Victor Golf Juliet.
And that's Joseph. Ooh, Bob, I don't know where you
Victor
are.
Alpha 3, Delta Charlie Echo.
Or Dougie.
B3 CWR.
Hey, Gerard.
BE3 IGX.
Cam up there in Port Perry. Oh, just made another contact on FT8. Okay, I acknowledge VE3 VGJ Joe from the greater Bowmanville area. VE3 IRB, he's in the weeds somewhere. We just barely made him out, but we could understand his call. VA3 DCE Doug from the sunny north of Uxbridge. VE3 CWR Gerard, also from the greater Bowmanville area. And VE3 IGX Cam from the great metropolis of Port Perry. Anybody else wishing to check in? Okay, nothing heard. So as I mentioned, it is free for all Friday, and I just made contact with the IU2. I don't even know what call slot, what country that is, but working them on FT8. Anyways, Peter, take it away.
Well, good evening, Laird, and all the good folks that you have in there so far tonight. Well, we finally went over and got the ears lowered, and boy, does that ever feel great. I know what you're saying there, Laird, to get this mop cleaned up. It was a nice experience, I'm sure. So we've been doing a few things around here, and I had an email from my cousin in Washington State, and I think they're kind of a little bit up against it right now because they're not sure if a friend of theirs has come down with this COVID-19, so they're sort of worried about it because they've been in contact with these people. So she's going to let me know what's going on there. So that's what I hear so far. So over to you, Laird, and get some more beans.
Well, that's never good to hear, Peter. So, I would highly suggest you stay at home and no foreign travels. But yeah, that's too bad. Hopefully it's not, and everything will be okay. Let's see, who's next on the list? Aldo, VA3AG. Good to hear you in here.
Yeah, what's the complete call of that station? You were wondering what country it is from?
Yeah, I just looked it up, and it's Italy, and the call sign was India United to India Victor November. and he's from a place called Pavia, Italy. I'm not sure if I'm going to make a contact though with him. We're hitting each other at about minus 19. So if we do, it'll be lucky.
Okay. Yeah, I was going to say Italy, but I wasn't sure. I never heard an India United. But anyway, the Comet SBB-2 that I put on the roof yesterday, on the roof of the car yesterday, I took a sweep, and I can give you some figures. You want to hear?
Sure thing.
Okay. It appears that on 2 meters, no greater than SWR is no greater than 1.475. That's at 146,560. I took 4 different frequency readings, and looking good. Now UHF is even better. 441,900. Way down there. It's 1.079, so it's really low. 448,500 gets even better. 1.028. And at 444, it's 1.098. So there you go. Those are the figures that I didn't want to play with it anymore. I thought that was good enough.
Oh, so you're not a perfectionist? You're not going to go back and try to get it below 1.025?
No, I'm going to leave it the way it is. I'm not going to, if it's not broken, don't try and fix it. So no, I'm happy with that.
I guess so. Those are good numbers to have, Aldo. So, now, did you have to do any tuning with it, or was that just straight out of the box and plunked on the roof?
Just the way it came. I think they tune it pretty good. Now, I have a Comet SBB-7 here, I think it is. It's the longer one. Longer than yours. The one you have on the roof of your car. So I'm going to look at that and see what it's doing. I'm pretty sure that the numbers will be pretty good. I've never touched it since I bought it, and it's almost brand new. So I think it'll be okay. But I'll wait until I get a piece of rubber to put on the magnet, so I don't scratch the car, and then I'll put it up there and do a sweep of it and see how it is behaving. Go ahead.
Excellent. Well, let's hope it's got the same characteristics as this one does, because you can't argue with that. Anybody who would try to even adjust that just should be kicked out of the hobby. Let's see, VE3IRB. Hopefully Robert's in a bit better position.
VE3IRB, yes. When you first gave the call in, I was downstairs. I stepped outside thinking it would be clear, but I guess I was still in the shadow of the house too much. I'm upstairs now. I presume I'm clear. Nothing really to add at this point. I'll throw it back to you.
Yeah, no, that's a lot better, Robert. Beautiful signal now. And how are you making out with your antenna project?
Actually, I basically have it all ready other than to trim it and try hanging it and tuning it. I actually might put it in the car and take it for a drive tomorrow morning and see what others think, if it looks basically okay. Back to you.
Sure thing. Yes, and that reminds me, we will be probably meeting up north there at White Feather. So Now that we can expand our groups to 10, that gives us a lot more options. We don't have to break off into smaller groups. And so, yes, I plan to be there anyways. I do need to get some groceries. I always get their eggs, and they have a good supply of meat pies, too, that are, I don't know who, some little mom and pop place makes them, but they sure are good. Let's see, VA3, DCE, Doug.
Good evening, Laird. Everybody else on the net tonight? Nothing to report here. It's a beautiful day. I hope my signal's getting in okay tonight compared to last night, because I'm back on the indoor antenna indoor radio where it's air conditioned in here, and that's the way I plan to stay because it's a little warm out there. Back to you, Laird.
Yeah, I was going to make a comment about, you're on the indoor antenna on indoor radio, but you quickly corrected yourself. Doug, you take all the fun out of being a net controller, you know that? But yes, and I can appreciate the heat. It's interesting, though. When you're in the sun, it's hot as blazes. But I was out, about 6 o'clock, and I just pulled my chair over into the shade, a nice little breeze blowing through, and I got a nice little nap. I really could have. It was just a beautiful temperature. But I don't blame you for not wanting to sit out in the sun if that was going to be the case. Let's see, VE3CWR, Gerard, good evening.
Yeah, okay, good evening, everybody. Oh, better turn that down, I guess. Yeah, well, it's about 64 degrees here where I am. I'm in the basement, and holy cow. It's been cold down here. I don't even want to come down. It's so cold. It's the coldest place in the house is the basement here. Handy the air conditioning machine here, and I guess there's all kinds of leaks and stuff in it as normal. One of these days, my kids are rapidly getting on them. I don't know. Anyway. All's good here. Everybody's good. All's well. Fooling around with some junk here. Although my hands don't work too good. Every time I take out the Saturn, I burn myself. Anyway, everything's good. Back to you. Back to net control. E3, Siddle, you are not in the
car. Excellent, Gerard. Yeah, well, and that's the thing with air conditioning. All the cold air falls to the basement, and if I remember right, you can't close off your basement because you've got that sort of big open area. So all the cold air from your main floor and your top floor is just coming down and settling in the basement. So it will be substantially chillier down there. I got the same problem at my place too. I should put a door. I could put a door at the bottom of my stairs, and that would help. But I've just never gotten around to it. I can get a bit chilly down here. Matter of fact, sometimes when the AC is going, I'll put my micro furnace on if I'm in the shack, just to take the edge off. Anyways, let's see who's next on the list. Cam, VE3IGX. Good evening.
Evening, Laird, and everyone on. And I see Joe has got his comment there. He's 5 in a row now. He's the man. And I did like Peter did. I got a haircut this morning. Got there about 9:45, and an hour and 15 minutes later I get in. But I was able to sit out on the sidewalk in the shade on a nice bench watching the people go by. And he was only allowed one person at a time in the shop. So that's why it took him so long. Anyway, we'll give it on back to you, VE3LKS, VE3IGX.
Yes, indeed. It does look like I missed Joe. So Joseph, VE3VGJ, you do claim the first prize for tonight. You may not be the last one, but you will claim the first one for this evening, and take it away.
Good evening, Laird, and everybody on frequency. Yeah, new record, 5. That's 5 trophies I've got now. Hi.
Well, yes, I'll probably see you there tomorrow. I got some grocery shopping to do. Looks like the morning's going to be really nice. In the low 70s and not much wind, so make sure that I'll be in the short sun. And good to hear Gerard on there. Gerard, I don't know if your phone's working or you changed your number. I've tried to get a hold of you the last couple of days. Called you about 3 or 4 times, no answer. Maybe you want to make comment the next time around. And although I heard you on the sandbox tonight, I was just about to check in, and you checked in. I was getting close to the other nets, so I didn't. And good work, interesting on your antenna there testing. And as far as the air conditioning goes, my basement is cold too, but what I've done, I've blocked one of the return air ducts in the upper level, so the return air duct in the basement pulls more of the cold air up, and then closed the louvers off in the basement, so it doesn't blow much air down there, so it's more or less exchanging, bringing the cold air up, dumping it upstairs, and then rolling down the stairs when it gets warmed up. Anyway, that's sort of the routine I have here. It helps. It evens it out a bit, but it is still cooler in the basement. Back to you.
Very good, and that's where you have a little workshop anyway, so it's nice to have it a bit more comfortable down there. Let's see, we're at the bottom of our first go-round, so I guess it's time to take a break here and see if anybody else wants to check into the COVID-19 Rag Chew and possibly get skipped. If so, please come now.
The 3D, just checking in.
Darren.
VE3 RPM.
Okay, I acknowledge VE3 NMD Darren. Glad to hear you on the radio. And VE3 RPN Scott. Good to hear you as well. Take it away, Darren.
Okay, not much to say, just checking in, saying hello to everyone. I just got home, so gonna unpack and all that, and I'll probably catch back on the next go around. V3MD.
Okay, very good. Well, glad you had a safe drive home, and hope to see you in the morning, that's for sure. And we'll definitely give you a shout out on the next go round. Scotty, VE3 RPN, are you working on watching a milkshake evaporate tonight, or are you not doing that today?
I was waiting for that. V3, FKS, V3 RPN. No, the wife brought one home, just back to normal. She had to go for massage therapy. Now they're doing that, so had a little extra time tonight to kill, keeping an eye on Mom. Yeah, sorry about yesterday, but when I got home there, I was crying. I was so upset. I didn't realize that Robert went to my favorite place and got one of my favorite meals, and here I was with some old hamburgers and a milkshake from McDonald's. What can I say about that, Robert fella? And then somebody insulted my dipole. They called it an ugly stick. Anyway, other than that, over to you there, buddy. I'm just doing some shifting here. V3 RPN.
Okay, I don't know if someone else is trying to come in there. You're breaking the squelch if you are, but no audio, just scratchy noise. If that is someone else trying to get in, we'll give you another shot there. Give it another shot. Maybe bump up your power if you can, and try one more time. Okay, nothing heard. Anybody else wishing to check into the COVID-19 Rag Chew this evening?
3 AMP from Bowmanville. Where's that?
VA3 AMP from the greater Bowmanville area. Good evening, Alex, and hope you're having a great end of the week.
Yes. We didn't sleep very well last night. Neighbors decided to chit-chat till about 1:30 in the morning, and I had to get up at 4 and go into work for 5. And I came home around noon or so. I was kind of worn and not very good shape for driving, so I went home. It's better be safe than sorry. So we came home, had a few hours power nap in the chair. Feel better. Tomorrow we're going in for a couple hours and back home again. But yes, Gerard, Oval is not far from your neighborhood, just a couple streets over. Back to you, Larry.
Very good. Yeah, I was wondering who that was. I didn't quite catch the voice, but yeah, you guys could almost yell out your back doors at each other. It's like I think it was Wednesday. VA3WTB Bill. Um, we made a FT8 contact, and oh, by the way, Gary, I'll explain that in a minute. We made an FT8 contact, and so I did up a QSL card, filled it all out, and I walked up the street about 150 yards, and I put it in his mailbox. I've known Bill forever, I think, and he's a ham as well, and he lives just on the other side of Adelaide from where I live, and to make an FTA contact on 20 meters from that distance, it's not as easy as you think, because your signal's geared to go long distance. And Gary, FT8 is a digital mode. Basically, it's like two modems talking to each other. So I can, there's messages that you can type in, and you can talk back and forth. There's predetermined messages to make the contact. And so it's basically your computer talking out through your HF radio out over the airwaves, and someone else in the world hearing that, and with their radio decoding it and bringing it onto their computer. So that's what that's all about. And the conditions have been really, really good the last couple of days, and I hope to use that mode for field day. And with that, I will take one more call for check-ins, and if not, we'll head back to the top of the list. This is Laird, VE3LKS. Okay, nothing heard, so we will go way back up to the top to Peter, VE3PWJ. Good evening. Again.
Good evening again to you, Larry. I was listening about the testers you have for. I have an SBB7 antenna too, although I have an SBB324, which is a tri-bander, but I don't have any way of actually testing them to see just how well it works. And this is using the 324 that's upstairs in the room up here, running with 5 watts. So I guess it does get out. And as far as the air conditioner, we do the same thing here, Laird. I plug the basement ones because I just freeze down there. And actually, I'll plug the one in the room here where the computer is upstairs too, because it gets too cold. If my legs get cold, I'm not a happy camper. So I hear what you're saying about air conditioning. It's nice to have, but boy, it can be pretty cool sometimes. Over to you, Larry, and get some more beans.
Yep, getting lots of beans tonight, Peter, and lots of guys that are full of beans. Oh, yeah, I guess I better not insult the guys tonight. But yeah, it's a Friday night, and so far we've got 11 check-ins, but it's, as I always say, it's not the quality, it's not the quantity, it's the quality. But then even then, sometimes that can be lacking. But tonight we're doing fairly good on that front. Although I'm surprised that Jeffrey and Bob and Jackie aren't in. Those three must be together somewhere doing something, because it's very odd for all three of them not to be on here. Let's see, VA3AG.
Yeah, okay. There. All right. Here's a little calculation that maybe everybody can try. To make it easier, we'll make we're running 5 watts. I'm running 5 watts on the portable. Okay. And the SWR on the antenna, it's no greater than 1.4, right across the band. So what's my loss? What's the percentage loss? Or how many, how much power am I losing? How much power is coming back? How much power? Go ahead.
Okay, well, I don't want to give away the answer right away, so I'll let everyone else have a shot at it first, Geraldo. But good question. It's one of those little tricky ones. Let's see. BE3VGJ, the guy skipped last time. Do you have an answer for Aldo?
No, I don't. I'm sure there's a calculator on the website that'll do that. And so I'm going to do the same thing as you are. Is I'm going to pass it on to the next one. And no, anyway, it's just going to say it's good you're around the net again here. And I think when it's over, I might just go outside and putter around there. I think the garage is probably cooling off a little bit. Open the door up, and I got a little project working on there. That antenna I got is rather interesting. The mast on it is metric, and I got to fit it to one of our sort of standard masts here, and it works out that a piece of EMT conduit. The idea of it is just about the same as the OD on the other one, so that's going to work out pretty good. Back to you.
Very good. And any progress on that other antenna that I just can't wait for you to get up?
That's what I'm talking about. I started putting it together.
Oh, okay.
And waiting for the time to get out. And the main thing is the mast. Like I say, the OD of it is something like 35 or 38 millimeters. And the idea of 1.25 inch EMT conduit is about 10, 20 thou more, but really it isn't. So a couple slits in the piece of pipe, and it opens up a nice bit, and then clamp is going to hold it very securely. Anyway, that's what I'm working on, and I got a lot of other stuff on the go, and plus with this heat, I'm not in the lover of putting all this stuff together with that sun beating down on me. Back to you.
Yes, and did you find any good grease?
Yeah, I got to talk to you tomorrow about that. It's kind of funny, all these people come up with these theories and everything else, and you're looking for somebody who's actually done it. Yes, I know it has to be for cold weather. Yes, I know that. Red grease. What the heck is red grease? Like, you look at red grease on the internet, and anyway, I think it's just going to be lithium. I'm not sure yet. I got to talk to you about that tomorrow. Anyway, yeah, it's kind of funny. Everybody wants to throw their 2 cents in, but give me some details. The one guy did, and so hopefully I'll. But again, when I look for that particular grease, I'm not about to drop $40 on a little tube of it. That's not happening. Back to you.
Yeah, you can for $40 a little tube. I haven't read all the comments yet. I don't even know if anyone's commented on my comment, but yeah, for that you could afford to take it down once in a while and just re-grease it. Let's see. Next on the list, Robert, BE3IRB.
BE3IRB. Just had a busy day here. Had some friends over and things like that. I'm going to go out water the garden next. Really nothing to add at this time, so I'll say 73 and I'll keep monitoring. BE3IRB.
Okay, sorry about that, Robert. I just noticed that I was transmitting. My power was too high on my HF rig there, and I was trying to figure out Aldo's little calculation here. Yeah, good luck. I did all my watering beforehand, so I'm good. I even watered part of my lawn. I got a piece in the backyard that it was like the desert, so I laid the water on it for about half an hour today. But so hopefully it'll help revive it a bit. VA3 DCE Doug.
Back again, Laird. I'd like you to know that I'm here for the beans. I'm not about to give any. I'm here to receive some. I'm a little short right now. So if you have any to spare, I'll take them off your hands. Anyway, I look forward to getting out tomorrow morning for coffee. I need another coffee. I haven't had one since this morning. And we'll see you then. VA3DC.
Okay, no guesstimate for Aldo?
I'm not even sure what language he's talking.
Okay, very good. Now this guy will know it. He'll probably have it down to the decimal place, and it'll depend on which way the wind's blowing and the humidity and everything else. VE3CWR, answer the question, my friend.
Yeah, okay, Joe. The phone call, yeah. Well, my phone's plugged in a lot of the time because I fall asleep at night. I have a hard time sleeping at night, so I do a lot of looking at YouTube on the phone, fall asleep, and the battery goes dead, and then I plug it in, and I get up, and I forget about it. Yeah, I'd say about 86%, and you can't measure the power at the radio. You have to measure the power at the antenna because you're going to have, I don't know how long your coax is, but I know at 88 feet on VHF one time we changed it, we checked it with RG213, and I think it was 100 watts we were feeding into it, and at the antenna, the antenna was pretty well flat, and about 86% of the power was going into the antenna, and then it was using RG58U or RG8X or whatever you call it. It was a 10% lower than that at the measuring it at the antenna, not at the radio. Anyway, that was my finding. That's back 40 years ago or 30 years ago or something. And Joe, by the way, next time, I missed you this time, but next time you're going up, I'm going to give you a couple of traps to take up and show and see if anybody can figure out what they are. I know they're 40 and 80 meter traps, and they're supposed to shorten the antenna to 105 feet. But I can't figure out, they're 40 years old, I guess. I can't figure out which end is the short end, which end is the long end. Anyway, maybe your show and tell machine can tell us that.
Joe, did you want to make a quick comment?
Yeah, I'm not sure. You're talking about that on the nano there. I have no idea, Larry or Gerard, how that would work, but it's something we can definitely give it a try. I'm not sure what to look for, but yeah, it'd be something to definitely give it a try. Back to you there, Gerard.
Yeah, no, you know, I'd give it to you. Some of the guys, some of the older guys might remember them. They're blue traps. It's so long ago since I used them back in, I think I was living on Crosno Boulevard in, not Crosno, no, Storrington, Pickering at the time. And maybe somebody would recognize them and tell me approximately what the lengths are. The overall length I remember was 105 feet. It shortened it up quite a bit, and it did 40 and 80 meters, these traps. But anyway, I don't have quite enough room for the 130 feet there, so this would be good. But somebody might have seen them. I can't find anything on them. There's no markings on them, who made them or where they come from, but they're really, really well made. Anyway, back to Ned. Go ahead.
Okay, and I guess we have to go back to Aldo to see if you are correct. So Gerard was saying he got about 86% of the power out, which means he would have lost about 14%. Personally, I think that's a bit high. I was going to guess around 5%, but I'll let Aldo take it away and see if Gerard's close there.
Have to measure it at the antenna, not coming out of the radio. It has to be right at the antenna, the feed point.
Yeah, well, Gerard is pretty close. But I figured it out to be about, on 2 meters there, I figured out to be using 5 watts. I figured out to be that the loss is 0.028 of a watt. So it's very, very little. So I'm not going to monkey around with it. And Gerard, you were talking about some traps there. What kind of traps are they? I don't think it matters which end you tie to which end?
Yeah, I was figuring that, Aldo, and thanks for coming back with that. Yeah, I can't remember what the length was. Maybe it's probably 33 feet or 32, 33 to 33 foot 6 or something at one end, and then I guess the rest is just the short end to make up the 105 feet. Maybe somebody's seen them. There's no name on them. They're blue. They look like something high gain. They're not a wimpy trap. They have a capacitor in there, a capacitor, and they look really industrial type. But anyway, there's no name on them, so I looked all over the internet trying to find them, but I can't find them. But I bought them, I think, years ago from the guy on just before Radio World started there, the guy on Bathurst and or was it Bathurst and York Mills there. Anyway, that's the story, and I'm sticking to it. Yeah, there's an interesting thing if you look on the web there on feeding antennas at the VHF and UHF frequencies there about the coax and whatnot. But yeah, we did it years ago, and we checked quarter waves on the car compared to 5/8 and whatnot. And the quarter wave mounted to the car in the middle of the roof was always the best, because when you were mobile, the antenna bent, and of course it went off resonance when it bent. So anyway, that's the way it is. Yeah, and I guess you're probably using that mobile, were you, Aldo, your antenna there?
Yeah, I'm using it on the car. I think you said those traps are blue plastic, and there is two ends of aluminum going through it. The name is in the tip of my tongue. It starts with an A. Armadillo or something like that. Something like that. They don't make them anymore. I do have a set for 40 meters, and I used that, and it worked not too bad, but I took it down. I was using it for 40 and 80. And I do remember the one length from the middle insulator was 33, and then I forget what the rest of the measurements were, but I can get it for you. I do have it here somewhere.
Yeah, that would be great, Aldo. That would be great. Thanks a lot, buddy. And like one end is a little longer than the other, the part sticking out there, and it sounds like you had to have the exact same things there, exactly. But it's so long since I built these things. My memory's good, but it's 30 seconds short.
Okay, I'll get it. I'll get it for you, and I don't know how I'm going to get it to you, but if you fire me an email at my call at simpatico.ca, I will try and. I think I have some instructions here somewhere, and I can, make a file on the printer and send it to you. You'll be able to see all the measurements there. But I do have very, very good traps, and I have two sets. I have one set that was given to me, and I am going to refurbish them someday. But the other set is that I bought it for I think $30 for the set. It's in very, very good condition, and it worked. But I'm always playing with antennas, so I will send me an email and I'll send you the info. Okay. Okay,
Aldo, very good. Thank you, and sorry, boys, for tying it up so long here, but. That's something I've been looking for a long time. And yeah, it sounds like the exact same traps. So back to you, Laird. Sorry for tying it up there.
Oh, not a problem. Not a problem. It's sort of a leisure Friday evening anyway, so it was quite interesting too, actually. Gary Zed has a question, and actually he's got a couple. So Gary, you're asking about, is there special hardware and software? I'm assuming you mean for the FT8. Yes, there is special software. It's called WSJT-X, and that's the name of the software. And this little device right here is the modem that connects between the computer and the radio. And when you see it right now, there's just a green light on it, but you'll see when it goes to transmit, there'll be a red light as well. I'll try to stay out of the way here for a minute or two so you can see that happening. And that's what does the FT8 or other digital modes that are done with the computer. There, now you can see the red light there. As far as hotspots go, I've got a hotspot here in my shack. It's for using voice over IP, so I can use my handheld, get into that, and then talk around the world to other amateurs who also have either hotspots or to get dumped out. Like for instance, Oshawa has an All-Star node, which is connected to the internet, and so people who have access to All-Star can use their hotspot and connect to our All-Star node, and then talk to the guys in the club that way. Let's see, who was next? IGX Cam, VE3 IGX, VE3 LKS.
Okay, not too much left here. When I got back from my haircut, I stayed in because of the weather. And now the wife's got me wearing shorts. Jeez. And I've been informed that I have to go shopping tomorrow morning for 8. Who would guess that? And I'm just looking at that E3 RPN back, and he said a seagull just hit his antenna. He's glad his car is waiting. So I hope he's okay. So anyway, I'll say 73 to everybody, and I'll be listening to the end. VE3 LKS, VE3 IGX.
Okay, did you say, I couldn't quite hear all of that, but did you say you had to go grocery shopping in the morning, but you were going to get some of them at White Feather?
Yeah, White Feathers is where I got to go shopping for the 8.
Perfect. I gotta pick up eggs there too, so you better leave me some. Of course, you probably only have about 400 dozen there, but very good. Looking forward to seeing you. VE3 NMD Darren, and are you all unpacked now? I know Gerard was giving you ample opportunity to get your car unpacked there. Oh, Gerard, it appears you didn't talk long enough. Darren's still unpacking his car. We'll give him a shout in a couple more minutes, and I'm just pulling your leg. Hope you realize that. Scotty, VE3 RPN.
VE3 LKS, VE3 RPN. Yeah, we're up by East Sides here. We're actually on the handheld right now, so I imagine the other one's okay. It's taken a few hits. They even had a squirrel up on the roof there, twanged it down at the lake one time. Mind you, I don't know how the bend, I think the bend on the top of it, everybody says, are you going to straighten it out? That came from the hospital parking garage. If I straightened it out, I wouldn't be able to find my car. But anyway, nothing else. No, we had our McDonald's tonight, and the wife kicked me out shortly after. She said, what did you put on your hamburger? You stink. So I'm in the car. I guess I won't be going home for about at least an hour. I'll be listening. Anyway, good night there, buddy, as usual. And like I say, oh yeah, Thursday nights I get together with a little group down at the lake there, and I don't mean at the Whitby Lake, but I do go down a little further there, and we have quite a little picnic, and we're spaced properly. But anyway, keep up the good work, and we'll be listening. Over you there. Thanks, everybody. VE3 LKS, VE3 RPN.
Okay, very good, Scotty. Hopefully, we'll see you in the morning there, because I would hate to have to eat a fritter on your behalf. I would do it. I would take one for the team, but it's better if you're there. VA3 AMP, Alex. And what time do you have to head into the office tomorrow? Uh-oh, better be quiet. I think Alex fell asleep. Yep, nothing heard. Let's see. Let's see if Darren's back. VE3 NMD. Okay, nothing heard. So with that, we've been through a couple of times. I hope I answered your questions there, Gary. If not, just type something in real quick there. And let's see. Scott, yeah, he was just, yeah, he's glad that his car's white. Let me tell you, the birds got to my car the other day. I don't know why. I hardly ever get birds attacking my vehicle in the driveway, but the other day, I don't know, they must have been reenacting the Battle of Britain or something over my vehicle because it was just hammered. Anyways, we'll take one more quick standby to see if anybody else would like to check into the COVID-19 rag chew. If so, please come now. This is Laird, VE3LKS.
VA3 Romeo Tango Victor.
Okay, I copy Jeffrey, VA3RTV. Good evening, and take it away.
Yeah, thanks, Laird, and good evening to everybody who's listening in. And it's been quite a day. Let's see, I made a list here of things. As far as the antenna for Aldo, of course, the most important thing is what the aerial puts out, the effective radiating power, and that's what you've got to measure. Anyway, when Aldo was talking about his aerial the other night, it was the measurements were just so far out. I figured that because I had the same problem once, and it was a nice day, and we'd had a number of days in a row that it hadn't rained. In any case, I took the antenna down. I couldn't believe it. There was water in the loading coils. In any case, that was what the problem was with mine. I fixed it up, but then I put a brand new aerial back up there because I wasn't having that again. Let's see. As far as my day goes, I was able to ring the bell as I came out of my treatment, and everybody cheered, and they took a picture and that, so that was good. And as far as the rest of the day, I came back, and then Bob was going out on his scooter, so Lois came with me, and Bob, and Larry and Joan came in their car, and so the two bikes and the car with Joan driving, we went along the Lakeshore Drive, had a nice meal at that place on the corner there in Port Hope, and then back again, and I've just got in. That's why we were late. So we've really had a very, very nice day. And with that, back to you, Led.
Now, which place on the corner are you referring to? Are you referring to up on top of the hill at Basil's?
No, when you get to the bottom of the hill, the main high street, Ride Out Street, I think they call it, and then you make a right turn. That corner, it's like a hotel, and they've got a patio out the back there beside the river, and that patio is fully open. And so we had a couple of tables there that were in the shade with the umbrellas, and it was a lovely meal, and that was really enjoyable, relaxing, and that. Highly recommend it.
Yeah, and that drive down along Lakeshore is really beautiful. I know sometimes if I'm in no hurry to come home, when I am at the office and not working from home, I'll take Lakeshore Drive home because it's just so relaxing and pretty with all the trees overhanging the road and everything. Now, my favorite spot down there is not too far from where you are. If you just keep heading south a bit on the opposite side of the road, at the corner near the train track overpass, there's a place there called Olympus Burger, and that's quite a nice spot, and they've got quite good food as well. But very good. I'm glad you had a great day out there, and it was a beautiful day to be out on the bike, that's for sure. And with that, I will take a standby and see if anybody has any final questions or comments for the group this evening. No, I don't hear anything. Darren, BE3NMD, are you back for one final check-in? Okay, nothing heard. So with that, I'm going to say 73, everybody, and we'll see you tomorrow morning at White Feather. And it looks like it'll be a beautiful morning, so it'll be great to get up there and have an eyeball and a beverage and maybe a snack. So I'll see you then. VE3LKS.
VE3DC.
Okay, a couple guys came in. I heard Doug. Take it away, Doug.
Just want to make mention of what Jeffrey said when he said he got to ring the bell, hit the gong. That is a major accomplishment, and I congratulate you on that, Jeffrey. That is a big one, and I appreciate hearing that. Back to you, Laird.
Yeah, what does that reference to?
You want to explain that, Jeffrey? I guess not. I'll try my best here. When you finish radiation treatments down in the cancer center, on your final day, after your treatments are all done, you get to ring the gong on your way out, and it's a sort of a symbolic thing of completion of your treatment. Back to you, Laird.
Okay, very good. And I see Gary has a question online here too about the All-Star. And he was questioning about the password. The password is only if you're doing it on your phone. And the reason why there's a password for the All-Star to get into our node, if you're using a phone, is that if you're not an amateur radio operator, you can't get on. You shouldn't be able to get on there. So we only give that out to members and maybe close friends of the group that are amateurs that we can verify. Now, if you are, say you're an amateur in Dublin, Ireland, you would be using your radio to talk into an All-Star node nearby, and then you would activate that node to connect to our node. And at that point, there's no password needed because it's two amateur systems talking to each other, and the people on each end are amateur radio operators as well. But as I say, on the phone, if we didn't have a password, anyone could go in there and just put any node in and start jamming and talking basically illegally, because you're supposed to have a amateur license to talk over that, because it is being broadcast over the amateur airwaves as well. So I hope that answers that question, Gary. And with that, I will say 73, everybody. Oh, no, sorry. There was someone else that came in with Doug. That other station, go ahead. Okay, maybe I was just hearing things then. So with that, I will say 73. Wish everyone a good evening, and I'll look forward to seeing you guys all in the morning. And go from there. 73, everybody, VE3LKS, and I'll be clear.